What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video, and welcome to the era and the silliness of the NHL. There's so much crazy rumors and talk going on right now with every team in the league, but that's what's fun about it. So if you guys are new here and you want to talk Leafs with me, news, trades, rumors, there's going to be a ton of these types of videos coming out in the next few days. I've been posting a lot this week, and there's even more coming in this whole off season. So liking and subscribing does help a lot. It's completely free. So today we're talking about Mitch Marner, okay? Because as we know, Mitch is the most polarizing figure for the Maple Leafs this offseason. And between Brad Treliving talking yesterday at the time I'm recording this about what they might do, because a lot of the questions were based around Mitch Marner, even though he can't really say a whole lot, and Frank Seravalli like doubling and tripling down on his take about Mitch, there's a lot to talk about. So again, like, subscribe, let's get into it. So let's just look at a couple of these quotes, right? So basically the diplomatic answers were on, full force yesterday for Brad Treliving, the GM of the Maple Leafs. And he said, Mitch is a superstar in the league. I'd caution us to not pay too much attention to some of the noise. We can't react to all of this. You can't control the rumors that are out there. So basically, in this is him just ducking the questions. And we kind of knew that was going to happen. But what we also need to look at is there's two sides to this. One, he's saying, don't pay too much attention to this. Don't react because like why? Why would you? Nothing has happened, and Mitch is a superstar. We love him, whatever. So it's like, okay, well, he's saying, don't get your hopes up or whatever about a trade because it's not going to happen. But then on the flip side of that, he didn't come out and say, yeah, no, we're not trading Mitch. Craig Berube loves him, which has been a report that Craig Berube loves Mitch Marner. Again, I don't know how true that is. Nick Kiprio said it, and that's no disrespect to him, but I'm just giving the source. But he didn't just all come out here and be like, this is what's happening. Mitch is not getting traded. We want to keep this guy. We wanted to go into next season and see what he can do. He's got 1 year left. We will try to re-sign him. He didn't say any of that. He's leaving the door and the window, whatever, completely open for people to think of whatever trade or sign and trade or extension scenario that you come up with your own head. He's just telling people that I'm the GM of the Maple Leafs. Our team is not going to focus on rumors and trade talk and any of those things. We're going to focus on being the Toronto Maple Leafs. And again, I do understand that. And for power in his position, he can't go out there and be like, yeah, we're trading Mitch, like we're taking calls. Because if Mitch hasn't been instructed to give a list of teams, or if he hasn't waived his no move clause, the Maple Leafs can't be out there being like, yeah, like we're talking to this team and, we're talking to this team about a potential sign and trade. They want to extend him. Like, you can't talk about those things. So I think people wanted him to just outright say he was going to trade Mitch Marner, but he definitely can't do that. And I do respect that, but he did kind of swerve around the questions, and he did give us a little insight by not fully saying we intend to keep Mitch Marner. And then around the same time, Frank Seravalli tripled down on his stance on the Mitch Marner situation, and Leafs latest posted this update. They've posted updates quite a few times. I firmly believe that the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to do everything in their power to move him, and that was Frank Seravalli on the Fan 590 Sportsnet radio show. So he said this a couple times, and there have been a few outlets that have said, look, like the Maple Leafs are exploring all their options, but Frank Seravalli has kind of been on the edge of like shock jock journalism. And again, that's no disrespect to him, but it seems as though there's always a few guys that have these just bullets coming out like, oh, this is happening. This is happening. The Maple Leafs, him saying he firmly believes that the Maple Leafs are going to do everything in their power to move him makes it seem like it's inevitable that the Maple Leafs are going to trade him. Like, this is what he's saying, that the Leafs are moving on from Mitch Marner. Like, it's locked in. And that's a pretty big thing to say. And, it's a difference between Frank Seravalli saying this and then that random Twitter user, that guy that had like a brand new Twitter account and just paid for verification saying, oh, Marner being traded to Utah is a done deal. Because you see that, and then you see that fake hockey trade talk guy, hockey 364, whatever the heck his name is, saying, oh, the Leafs are trading Marner to Vegas. These guys tweet 10 to 15 times, and it's like different teams and different trade packages. And then if one works, they delete all the other ones and retweet, oh, look, see, I told you. Don't believe all those things. Frank Seravalli has a lot more credibility than those guys. But if a Chris Johnston or an Elliot Friedman or any one of those, top guys are not saying this, I have a hard time believing it. And again, the Maple Leafs might be looking to move him, but I'm not going to say it's a guarantee. And we've done this before, and I want to show you guys again with the updated salary cap and the way that Mitch Marner, his salary and his average annual value, his AAV affects the Maple Leafs. Like this move needs to happen sooner or later if the Maple Leafs plan to be very active in free agency. But the problem is that the Maple Leafs actually owe Mitch Marner a huge signing bonus on July 1st. So if the Maple Leafs trade him before that, the team acquiring him will have to pay out that entire 10.9. But if the Maple Leafs sign or trade him after July 1st, they'll pay that bonus and then they can move on from him. So maybe they have discussions and trade him like July 2nd. The issue is if you're trying to go out there and sign a bunch of guys, you might have to have like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge with the player. Like, hey, we got to sign you on like July 2nd or 3rd or 4th because we're trading this guy that makes a lot of money that we can now give you some of that money. So let's just take a look at it here. So $88 million salary cap this year is supposed to be 87 something, like 87.8 or 87.7, but it actually went up like 300,000 or 400,000, which is great. The Maple Leafs currently have almost $19 million in cap space. And I know a lot of people out there are like, oh, the Maple Leafs have no money. They do. And they actually have a lot of options here because if Easton Cowan is ready to make the jump to this team, which I think the Leafs are going to give him every chance to try to make this team. Again, I'm just putting this is not what I think the lines are going to be, and I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen. I'm just messing around with the money. The money is the only thing that you need to worry about here. So let's say Easton Cowan makes this team, right? Now the Maple Leafs just need one more forward, which I doubt they're going to just sign one. I think they're going to see where Holmberg is at. Maybe David Kampf is a trade candidate. Maybe even Ryan Reeves is a guy that, doesn't play as often. But again, I also don't believe Connor Timmins is going to be on this team. I put him on LTIR because I think the Leafs are going to trade him for another opportunity, which would put them back up to $19 million. And I also don't think Cade Weber is going to be making this team, okay. So now you have almost $20 million in cap space. That's before trading Mitch Marner. Let's say hypothetically the Leafs do trade Mitch Marner. The Leafs have almost $31 million in cap space to go out there and get another goalie, really address this blue line, and potentially re-sign Max Domi, Tyler Bertuzzi, and then go out there and get another depth forward. Or maybe they don't even sign Bertuzzi and Domi, they just sign one of them, and they still have all this money to spend elsewhere. That's how much the Mitch Marner trade affects the rest of this team. They have plenty of money if they trade Mitch Marner. They do have a good amount of money before if they don't trade Mitch Marner, but that will depend on, what else you do. Like they could just re-sign Nick Robertson and the forward group would stay the same and they address it at the deadline, and then they really try to shore up this blue line and get a veteran goalie as a backup and maybe go for another goalie at the deadline as well. I don't know. But this is why Mitch and his decision affects this team so much. The Leafs could virtually do anything they want in free agency if they trade Mitch Marner. They can go out there and sign 3 really good defensemen and sign another really nice forward as a depth piece and then get another goalie, like easily. And people are, oh, no, they can't do that. Look at the way that... No, I will be making a video on this. I've already calculated these things before all this rumor stuff came out. I think any Leaf fan has done that with Armchair GM and Cap Friendly, which Cap Friendly's going away after next week, which really sucks. It's been a part of my videos since I started this channel. But good for you guys. Congrats on the sale of the site to the Washington Capitals. But I'm getting off topic here. The Maple Leafs need to make a decision very soon. And by the time I'm recording this, maybe there is a decision and, this video is going to be out of date. But the Leafs have to do something huge here. And Mitch Marner getting traded virtually allows this team to do whatever they want. But I'm not wishing ill will or anything bad for Mitch Marner. I will still cheer for him if he's on the team. I'll still love Mitch Marner. But it's a negative asset because the Leafs are likely not going to extend him unless he has like an insane season and the Leafs are like, yeah, we got to hold on to this guy. Marner's a fantastic player and he makes you a better team for sure. But if the Leafs can spread out a bunch of money to like 2 top 4 defensemen and then like a really good bottom pairing guy, and then just save some of that money for the deadline for their forward group who should be able to get the job done, this team is all of a sudden a lot better and it looks a lot different. You get 2 bruising guys on that blue line that play solid defense, this team is already way better, right? So that's the balance. That's the yin and the yang and the good and the bad, the pros and cons. I'm sure there's going to be way more of these videos coming out. We're going to be discussing new information all the time. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Sound off. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, that's my Mitch Marner discussion for today. Let me know if you think I'm nuts. Let me know if you think I'm off topic here. But let's see what happens. More videos coming. I'm posting like maybe twice a day going forward because there's so much happening. So I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Go Leafs go. Let's see what happens. Peace.